Guys, I'm not a weather sealing expert, so use these tips as at your own risk. Hey guys, Omar here, and I am out and about. Today I'm going to show you that I weather sealed, poor man weather sealed my camera. Hey, how are you? And I just wanted to come out and see if I could, you know, just shoot with the Fuji XT20 out on a horrible day. We have a blizzard today, so let's take some pictures and then I'll show you how I weather sealed the Fuji XT20 for fun. It's tough to photograph when it's basically all white, but let's see what we find. Look at this awesome. One thing that's tough is keeping your lens dry, so make sure that you have like a little cloth with you or something. And basically, if you have like a little cloth, you can just give the lens a little wipe every now and then. So that's helpful. And then when you're not taking photographs, just make sure your lens is pointing down as much as possible. Alright, so now I've taken it completely out of the bag. As you can see, I used gaffer's tape there on the lens mount. I have a hole on my Fuji XT20, so I put some gaffer's tape there as well. And we're going to try to keep it as dry as possible, but we'll see how it does out here, okay? Nice. Alright, so the camera's out of... Wait, hold on, let me look cool. Camera's out of the plastic bag. It's definitely getting wet. But it's tough to do photography. I mean, the family's here and they're up ahead and they're kind of looking back. So shooting in snow is rough. You gotta kind of think of black and white. You have to think shapes. And so, ooh, I see some geese. Oh my God, I just got spat on by a tree. I see some geese over there, guys. We got geese. Okay, so we're back inside, totally warm, totally showered, had some hot cocoa. Let's talk about weather sealing. Wow, look how professional that looks. Wow. Now, the truth is there is no really 100% safe way to keep your camera weather resistant. Actually, there is. You could just stay inside. But the reality is there's no standard. Like, companies don't have a weather resistance number or anything like watches. Like watches, oh, look at that watch right there. Now watches have weather resistant numbers, like how deep you can go. They have shows how many meters you can go underwater. So that's not even guaranteed, but at least you kind of have an idea of which level your watch's water resistance is at. But with cameras, you're kind of on your own. So the Fuji XT20 is not weather sealed. So if you want to take it outside, you're going to have to just, as best as you can, try to keep water away from it. Now, my experience is with, now, disclaimer, this is just my experience. You may just get one drop on your camera and it has exploded on you in the past. If there's just a little bit of a drizzle or if there's a little bit of snow on it, my cameras have been completely fine, even though it's not weather sealed. However, in any kind of downpour, anywhere there's a lot of like a waterfall or any kind of huge mist where the water is getting into the camera, I wouldn't trust any camera, even if it's weather sealed. So be careful, definitely be careful around water, snow, ice. Obviously, some cameras have the track record, like the top line Nikons and Canons that go out in the wilderness, but the Fuji XT20 doesn't have a track record at all. So I'm going to show you what I did. I went out for a little bit. I was probably out for about 20 minutes or so. One other thing to note is I brought two batteries that had some charge on them. I think they had about half each. I thought I would be fine. Within the 20 minutes, both of them were gone. So cold weather will drain your batteries. And it also is kind of annoying that you have to, you know, I weather sealed my battery compartment, which I'll show you in a second. But I had to take the tape off and go in there and moisture can get in there. So really, it's not recommended at all to go out in conditions, especially with a camera that is said not to be weather sealed. Like mine's definitely not weather sealed because, as you know from the last video, I have a hole in it. So here are some things you can do to your Fuji XT20 or any other camera to at least try to keep some of the water away from it. Okay, poor man's weather sealing. So here's what I used. I used gaffer's tape because gaffer's tape is great It's pretty tough. It rips really easily. You can even rip it into thinner strips. And not only that, if you put it down just like that, it actually comes up without leaving any sticky residue. So I have that, as you can see, so professionally done. I have that on my lens all around where water could seep in there. So I put gaffer's tape on that. I put gaffer's tape on the little Alice in Wonderland entrance hole. If you remember, I got a little hole in my camera from it falling. And the other place, I took it off here, but I had a big strip of gaffer's tape on the battery door completely. Now, one thing I messed up on is I taped over the aperture ring, so my aperture was stuck at a certain aperture. And then what I did, if it's super raining or super crazy, I had it in here, just like this. But this guy in your camera bag or something will fold up into almost nothing. So what I did was I kind of went like this, and I put the camera in the bag, and I sealed it from either side. What's up? I just zip-locked it from either side like this till I got to the lens hood. So, oh, by the way, we're sponsored by ShopRite freezer bags. And then you can kind of keep your lens like this. And just to keep it from moving around, again, I used a little bit of gaffer's tape on the top like that. And that kind of kept it from moving around too much. And you can kind of gaff the whole thing. But now the only thing is you kind of have to use your camera inside. The first thing is, like, touch still works, believe it or not, which is crazy. You can move around your focus point. But I found that you have to be on LCD only because the bag was kind of, I couldn't shoot at all. Like, the bag was, you know, turning off the screen. So LCD only, or you kind of have to use the eyepiece. But what's great is these bags are so clear that you can shoot, and you can kind of, you know, hold on. You shoot and you could see your photograph that you took on there just like that. So here are the photos I took. And so you can use your camera like this, and you can still turn the dials. You see that? You can turn the dials so they're in there. And if you're shooting video, you're gonna get noise from all this stuff, but for the most part, your camera is pretty nicely protected. All right, so this is the Budget Man weatherproof system that I was using. I've seen some people use like plastic bags like this, but they make so much noise. Like, I don't like that you can't see through these, but also very cheap. Brought to you by Target. Right through the plastic, which is great. Your touchscreen still works, which is awesome. See, you can kind of beep, just go like that. Hit your buttons, everything works pretty nice. Cool, huh? Bottom line, stay home, stay indoors, stay away from water. Now, if you really want to weatherproof 100%, safeguard your camera, you can always get one of those underwater housing compartment things where you put your camera in the plastic housing. That'll protect your camera for sure, but they're pretty pricey. They're almost $200 to $300. Free, baby, free.